Hi ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to go over the practice for dividing decimals by whole numbers. So let's get started with question number 1. I'm going to zoom right in here. I can't make any groups of 5 out of 2, so I'm going to put a 0 above the 2 and bring the decimal point up. 5 can go into 27 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25, and we have a difference of 2. I'm going to add a 0 just after the 7 to bring it down. And 5 can go into 24 times. 4 times 5 is 20. And we have 0 remainder, so we can stop dividing. Number 2, 1.28 divided by 8. I can't make a group of 8 out of 1. And then I'm going to bring the decimal point up after that placeholder for 0. 8 can go into 12 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 4. I'm going to bring the 8 down. 8 can go into 48 6 times, and 6 times 8 is 48. Since we have 0 remainder, we can stop dividing, and our quotient is 16 hundredths. Number 3, 5 and 8/10 divided by 6. All right, so I can't make a group of 6 out of the 5. I'm going to put a placeholder above it and bring the decimal point up. 6 can go into 58 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 4. I'm going to add a 0 just to the right of the 8 and bring it down. 6 can go into 46 times. 6 times 6 is 36. And we have a difference of 4. So if I add another 0 here, it becomes 40 again, and it would go in 6 times. So this 6 on the top is going to repeat over and over. I'm going to put a bar just above it to show it's going to repeat. Number 4, we have 5 and 53 hundredths divided by 9. I can't make a group of 9 out of the 5. Let's put a 0 up and bring the decimal point just to the right of it and up into the quotient. 9 can go into 55 6 times. That's 54. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 1. Let's bring the 3 down. 9 can go into 13 one time. That's 9. And we have a difference of 4. So now I'm going to add a 0 and bring it down. 9 can go into 40 4 times. That's 36. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 4 again. So if I add a 0 to bring it down, we're going to have this 40 coming up again with the 9 going into 44 times. So our 4 is repeating over and over. So we have 0.614 with a bar over the 4. All right, on to number 5 here. 1 and 9/10 divided by 20. So we're on to our 2-digit divisors. So we can't make a group of 20 out of 1. I'll put a placeholder above the 1 and bring the decimal point up. We can't make a group of 20 out of 19, so I'm going to put a 0 there. And we're going to add some zeros after the 9 and 1 and 9/10. So you can add one at a time in, you can add a bunch in, it's up to you. So now I want to know how many times 20 will go into 190. And that goes in 9 times. 9 times 20 is 180. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 10. So I'm going to bring the 0 down. 20 goes into 105 times. 5 times 20 is 100. And we have 0 remainder, so we can stop dividing there. So our quotient is 95 thousandths. Number 6, 504 thousandths divided by 12. So I'm going to put a 0. We can't make a group of 12 out of 0. The decimal point comes up. Can't make a group of 12 out of 5, but I can make it out of 50. So it would go in 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48. We have a difference of 2. I'm going to bring the 4 down. 12 goes into 24 2 times. 2 times 12 is 24. So we have 0 remainder here. So our quotient is 42 thousandths. Number 7, 7 and 28 hundredths divided by 16. So I'm going to put a placeholder above the 7 here. 16 can't go into 7. I'm going to put a decimal point just above it. 16 can go into 72. Let's try 4 times. That's 64. Yep, so we'll put in 4 times here. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 8. I'm going to bring the 8 down. 16 times 5 is 80. So I'm going to subtract 80 from 88. We have a difference of 8. I'm going to add a 0 here and bring it down. And 16 goes into 80 5 times exactly. And we have no remainder, so we can stop dividing. So 455 thousandths. All right, and question number 8, we have 150 and 3/10 divided by 50. So I can't make a group of 50 out of 1 or 15. We can make 3 groups of 50 out of 150. It's exactly 150. So we have 0 remainder. My decimal point I'm going to bring up right away. And then I'm going to bring the 3 down. We can make 0 groups of 50 out of 3. So I'm going to put a placeholder up. We're going to add a 0 and bring it down. We can't make any groups of 50 out of 30, so we need another placeholder in the quotient. Then I'm going to add another 0 to the dividend and bring it down to make it 300. 50 goes into 300 6 times. 6 times 50 is 300. So we have 0 remainder. We can stop dividing there. So our quotient is 3 6 thousandths. All right, now we have 2 word problems. Let's do number 9. Miss Nagy has 85 5/10 milliliters of jam that she'd like to put onto 3 pieces of toast with equal amounts on each piece. How many milliliters of jam should go on each piece of toast? So we're going to take our total amount of jam and divide it by 3. Okay, so 3 goes into 8 twice. That's 6. When we subtract, we have a difference of 2. So I'm going to bring the 5 down. 3 goes into 25 8 times. That's 24. When we subtract, we have a difference of 1. I'm going to bring the decimal point up into the quotient and then the 5 down to make it 15. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. We have 0 remainder, so we can stop dividing there. So how much jam will go on each piece of toast? 28 5/10 milliliters. All right, question number 10. A group of 30 workers won the lottery last week. The lottery ticket winnings were $1,205. If they split the winnings, how much will each worker get? So we're going to take their winnings and split it amongst the 30 workers. Okay, so we can't make a group of 30 out of 1 or 12, so I'm going to put zeros up as placeholders. 30 can go into 120 4 times. 4 times 30 is exactly 120. So we have 0 difference. We're going to bring the 5 down. 30 can't go into 5, so I'm going to put a placeholder above, and then I'm going to add a decimal point in the dividend and in the quotient straight up, and a 0 to bring down. So our 5 becomes 50 here. 30 goes into 50 1 time. That's 30. And when we subtract, we have a difference of 20. I'm going to add another 0. Keep going. 30 goes into 200 6 times. 6 times 30 is 180. And we have a difference of 20 again to make that 200. So it looks like the 6 is going to repeat over and over and over again. But this should look like money, right? Is it appropriate here to round? Let's think about it. If I round it up, $40.17 rounded up, but if I multiply that by the 30 people, that's going to go over the $1,205. It's going to be a little more. So in this case, it's not appropriate to round. Each person would get $40.16, and then there's going to be some leftover money there. And that's okay in this case. Either they donate it, or one person takes the leftovers, or a couple of people split the leftovers, but we can't split that evenly, unfortunately. All right, if you have any questions, you can email me directly or we can talk during our Google Meet. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.